Hi everyone, I'm Becky.
And I'm Sarah, and welcome to Sounds Like a Bunch of
Hoopla! We're both from the Taylor Community Library, and we are here to recommend some items to use your Hoopla checkouts on.
These are items that we've already borrowed or are planning on borrowing soon. And this week we're talking about comics. What'd you just read? Tell me what you read.
I have recently read a book called, a comic graphic novel called Clyde, which was written and illustrated by Jim Benton. This is the author who wrote Dear Dumb Diary, so you might be familiar with that. This book is about a bear who decides to ditch his safe and peaceful life in Cubville and head off to the mean streets of Grizzly City. With the help of a juvenile delinquent butterfly, he learns the bad life isn't always so great and that there is something to be said for helping your friends and family, even though that really does kind of stink sometimes.
Sounds adorable.
It is adorable. So this is geared towards probably upper elementary, middle school kind of age. We have Clyde, this bear, who is like super tough and is just like, I'm gonna be bad. And he's trying to make it to Grizzly City. The whole book is super sarcastic and super hilarious. I felt like I 100% related to Clyde. Like, for anyone who truly knows me, hopefully you think I'm like super tough, cold-hearted, when really I'm Clyde. Like, I want to be bad, but it's just like not gonna happen. So I had a really great time with this. The art style is also cutesy, and it was just so funny to see this bear just get like way in over his head and still try to like put on a tough act. What about you? What have you recently read?
So I actually recently revisited some Umbrella Academy 1 through 3. So technically it's 3 things that I am suggesting at this point. The Umbrella Academy, if people have Netflix, they know that there's a Netflix show based on these comics. Season 2 just dropped last month, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But basically, in an inexplicable world event, 47 extraordinary children were spontaneously born to women who'd previously shown no signs of pregnancy that day. Millionaire inventor Reginald Hargreaves adopted 7 of the children, and when asked why, his only explanation was to save the world.
Dun dun dun!
Dun, dun, dun. So these 7 children form the Umbrella Academy, which is a dysfunctional family of superheroes with bizarre powers. And their first adventure at the age of 10 pits them against an erratic and deadly Eiffel Tower, which is hilarious. Nearly a decade later, the team disbands, but when Hargreaves, their adopted father, and kind of a little bit, not a torturer, but he abused them. When he dies, the siblings reunite just in time to actually save the world. It's really great. The art style, I would kind of describe it as like a PlayStation 1 graphics 2D. It's like kind of a harsher style. It's really fun, especially because in Umbrella Academy, it's like a sideways world where a lot of things are kind of the same in the world that we live in now, but like technology is not that advanced. That's why it's so cool that these people have superpowers, because they're missing out in other things. And I don't know if you know that, well, actually I'm positive you know this, but these comics were actually written by Gerard Way, the lead singer of My Chemical Romance, which I'm going to side note right here. I was supposed to see them next month in concert. So thank you, Corona. Thanks for the cherry on that. But yeah, volume 3 of the comics actually just came out last year. It is being revitalized, and as far as I know, the show will continue as well. So we might have a simultaneous comics and show. So it'll be fun to see the differences and the similarities, because there's already a couple of plot points that are really different in season 1 compared to volume 1 and 2. But it's got a lot of similarities, but there are some plot points that I think just worked better on screen than in the comic. So it's fun to see those differences. What else are you reading?
Well, I also read Safely Endangered, or I think the full title is Safely Endangered Comics, which was written and illustrated by Chris McCoy. He's a UK-based artist. I would consider this very similar to Sarah Anderson's work. She wrote Adulthood is a Myth, Big Mushy Happy Lump, and
Herding Cats. I love her.
Yeah, so it gave me like the same kind of vibes where like you can really relate to because all the comics, it's a compilation of his mini comics. So a 1-page worth of story on each page. They're all very everyday things that we encounter, so anybody could relate to these, but they take this hilarious, unexpected, twisted kind of punchline to everything, and also has some really adorable illustrations. So I think it was the perfect thing to read. I needed some comic relief. That's why my recently reads are all very funny.
When I need comic relief, Rebecca, I go for kind of the ridiculous side. So I read Deadpool versus Thanos. So this is one I apparently missed. It came out in 2015, and it's Deadpool. With this one, it's the confrontation that every single Marvel comic has been leading up to. The merc with a mouth versus the jerk with that jaw. Deadpool goes to infinity and beyond when he throws down the gauntlet against Thanos of Titan. Can I also just side note and say that I friggin' love descriptions that come out from like Marvel and DC. They're so like old-timey comic-y.
Yeah.
I love it. So basically, Deadpool has to team up with Thanos because someone kidnapped their shared mistress, Death. So no one is dying on any planet or in any galaxy, no matter what. And as you know, Thanos is against all that, okay? He did nothing wrong in Infinity War. He's just trying to save galaxies, okay? Half of everybody. He's the only person that could do it. It was so ridiculous and funny to see Deadpool have to team up with someone who, in my head, has the voice of Josh Brolin, because that's who played Thanos in all the Marvel movies. But he also played Cable in the latest Deadpool movie. So it just worked. It worked perfectly for me. You will also see a lot of your, beloved characters from the Marvel universe. They make a few appearances, like Thor pops in, the entire Guardians of the Galaxy pop in. People that you recognize will come in and out. And it is post the events that happened after he got the Infinity Stones. So you're going to see a bunch of different kinds of timelines when you read comics that aren't matching in the blockbuster movies that come out. So this is kind of on a separate timeline where Thanos did get the Infinity Gauntlet and all that jazz happened, but now here's something else that's happening that wasn't that big a deal, and now something else is happening. They gotta fix Death. And they do travel to hell, which was fun because then they have to fight all the souls that they had sent there. So if you want a good old Deadpool time, I'll check out Deadpool versus Thanos for more of your purple guy needs. What's on your to read list?
So my first one that I would like to read, I believe that this is another maybe tween, early teen kind of book. It's called All My Friends Are Ghosts, which was written by the Eisner Award winning writer S.M. Vidardi and illustrated by Hannah Krieger. This book is about a girl named Effie who runs away from home and discovers a ghost school in the nearby woods. But just as she's beginning to learn all about the amazing things that ghosts can do, like possession, poltergeisting, demon magic, and more, Effie is asked by her new friends to help track down a mysterious spirit that's been spotted. But if Effie is going to succeed, she'll not only have to show her friends that she's got something special, but also learn to believe that she's got it too.
Ooh la la.
Yeah, it sounds like a really cute coming of age story and learning self-acceptance and also self-confidence, but in a super cool ghost world. So I'm pretty excited about it. What's on your want to read?
Kind of a similar type of book. It's a newer one and it's for everybody. So, even kids just getting into comics and graphic novels can probably pick this up and be fine. But it's called Zatanna and the House of Secrets. So the description goes, welcome to the magical, mystical, topsy-turvy world of the House of Secrets, where Zatanna embarks on a journey of self-discovery and adventure, all with her pet rabbit, Pocus. Zatanna and her stage magician father live in a special house, the House of Secrets, which is full of magic puzzles, mysterious doors, and storybook creatures. It's the house everyone in the neighborhood talks about but avoids. So it sounds like this is going to be all magic-y and crazy and great. And then it goes on to talk about how Zatanna's world kind of changes irrevocably when she stands up to the bully at school. All of her friends change because of that, and then she doesn't know her place in the world. And then all of a sudden, she comes home and her dad's gone. But not just anywhere. He's lost within the house. The House of Secrets. So yeah, it looks like just a fun foray into like magical superhero with a strong female lead that is probably a really good opener for anybody just getting into comics and looking for that, that first thing to hook them, and then they'll be hooked forever.
Pretty much.
Forever.
It definitely sounds like something that's going to be very engaging, where you won't want to stop reading, you'll want to keep going.
Yeah.
So
See that?
Sounds like something I want to check out.
Yeah, and the art looks super cute when you look at the cover. It just looks fun.
Well, that kind of segues into my next one. This one is more of a teen. Now, this one I'm a little bit confused on in terms of what's happening on Hoopla with this title. So the title is Keensei Volume 1, which was written by Sebastian Kadlicic, I believe is how you say the last name, and Kit Steinkellner, and then illustrated by Emma Steinkellner. So this book was nominated for an Eisner Award. It's about a girl named Lupe who is just your average, insecure, well-meaning, occasionally cranky teenager whose life is completely turned upside down when she discovers she has superpowers at her quinceañera. Her Keensei powers only last as long as she's 15, so over the course of this roller coaster year, we follow the adventures of Lupe as she figures out what it really means to be a hero. It sounds really great, but when I was on Hoopla, I saw that it said it was part of the Keensei series, and when I clicked that, we have Keensei Volume 1, and then we have 15 other issues. So I think that Keensei is a combination of some of those volumes, because it looks like Volume 1 is also just called Keensei. So I'm guessing that this is a few of them, but I don't know where this one stops so that you could then continue on with the other volumes. That's where it gets confusing. I don't think all 15 would be in Volume 1, because that just seems like a lot to be in one graphic novel. Usually ones that do have volumes, they are usually like maybe 5 volumes, but 15 is a lot. But who knows? I'll have to check it out and report back, but it definitely sounds really, really cool. I think we're going to get a lot of culture in this one because it is surrounding the whole idea that she gets her powers at her quinceañera. So I'm really excited. I think it's going to be super cool. And at least if the artwork matches the cover, which, side note, I hate when the artwork does not match the cover. If it matches, then it looks like it's going to be like the perfect art style for me and one that I always really enjoy. So it looks pretty cool.
My next to read is by a very famous author whom both of us love dearly. And I'm surprised I haven't read this one as well, because I am a Marvel girl. As you know, I debate with a lot of people Marvel versus DC. I love DC, it's fine, but I'm a Marvel person through and through. And this one is called Marvel 1602. So the premise is that it's the year 1602, spoiler alert, and strange things are happening in England. And Dr. Strange is the court magician of Queen Elizabeth. Yeah. There is also her main spy, the Queen Elizabeth I's main spy, is Sir Nicholas Fury. So I am super excited to read this and see how they kind of meld that world of the superheroes that we're used to in today times versus this historical world where, in the 1600s, the Salem witch trials happened.
Yeah, I was going to say,
how
it's very weird to see how powers can happen in this place.
How is magic going to be perceived in this world when apparently it's fine by the queen, but maybe only when it's her people that have magic powers?
Maybe. Or it might be like a super like alternate reality kind of thing where like magic's cool.
Very possible, because I know at one point they do go to the New World, which, hey, it's us, it's America, and find some magical and superhero beings there as well, and kind of gets into this war, and will the world end? Will we create allies? And it just seems super fun. I really like seeing my favorite characters get put into situations and times that are not, what I expect from them.
Yeah.
I would like to see Captain America sent to space.
What? That's your dream Marvel comic, Captain America.
No, I could probably come up with a better one. But we're cramped for time. Okay, we're short on time. All right, wait, I got one. I would like to see Wolverine running around with dinosaurs in the Jurassic or Cretaceous period. And his girlfriend's like a velociraptor. They hunt together. And then Professor Xavier comes, but they don't have wheelchairs, so he's riding in on like a triceratops.
Makes sense.
We
hope we've given you some new comics to borrow from Hoopla. If you end up checking them out, be sure to come back and tell us what you thought in the comments.
Thanks for joining us on Sounds Like a Bunch of
Hoopla!